Which individual project or person inspired you to become a civil engineer?
So when I was doing my A-levels, I was very fortunate to attend an Insight into Engineering course, and on the course they had a dinner on the last night, and they had a civil engineer who spoke at the dinner, and she was working on a pipeline project.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seemed to me like, a really fantastic way to be earning a living out on site every day, really interesting, really active, and that's basically when I decided that civil engineering was the career for me.
Fantastic. So why would you recommend a career in civil engineering?
I think there's so much variety, so many different things that you can do. You could be in the office one day, and then you can be out on site doing work on site the next day. And also it's just a really interesting career where you can contribute to society and the environmental challenges that we have in the world at the moment.
Fantastic. What's the biggest and most complex thing you've made out of Lego, and how long did it take you?
So I have 3 children, so I do have some experience with Lego.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most complex thing I've built out of Lego was the Lego Friends Grand Hotel. That was mainly because all the pieces were mixed in together in a box. So anyone who's tried to make Lego could imagine that took quite a long time. I think the most interesting thing that I've made with my children was actually a fairground. So it has sort of Ferris wheels and roller coasters and all these kind of things with moving parts, and that was very interesting to see how they made all that work out of the Lego pieces.
So complete this phrase: I'm a civil engineer, but I'm also
a parent of 3 daughters, so I'm very interested in the world that they will inherit and making that a better place and preserving the environment that they and their generation will live in. And I'm also, as a parent of girls, very interested in making girls and women more aware of the fantastic careers that there are available to them in STEM subjects.
What about being a civil engineer gets you out of bed each morning?
So I think it's the fact that every day is different challenges every day, and also that ability to contribute to the big challenges of our time, like environmental issues and sustainability.
What's one great thing that you love about civil engineering that you didn't know until you started working in the industry?
I don't think I ever realised how flexible it would be as a career. I think when I was at school and I decided to go into civil engineering, it was the ability to be out on site and that attracted me, and also the opportunity to work on some big projects and also work overseas. And I've done those things and they were fantastic. But I don't think I'd ever really thought that at some point, flexibility would be a really important thing for me as a parent. And I think working at Binnies, it's something that we take very seriously, ensuring that everybody within Binnies has the ability to work in a flexible way, both in terms of working at home if that suits them, and also in having flexible working hour arrangements. I don't think that's ever something that I ever really thought about, but actually it's really important.
Yeah, definitely. Which civil engineering project, past or present, do you wish you'd worked on?
So I'm a dam engineer and a reservoirs panel engineer, and obviously the sort of glory days of dam buildings were sort of associated mainly with the Industrial Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a part of me that would have liked to have been working in those days and to be able to work on those projects. But obviously I'm also very much aware that as a woman in engineering, now is the best time there's ever been to be working in the industry, and the opportunities for women in the industry are great.
Yeah, definitely. Name one civil engineering myth that you'd like to bust.
The fact that it's all about maths and you need to be amazing at maths to be an engineer. I think maths is important. If you're going to study engineering, then generally you need to be reasonably good at maths. But there's so much more to engineering than just maths. So much of our work is around communication and working in teams. And it's also really important to be able to innovate and be creative as well. So maths is a great starting point, but there's a lot more to engineering than maths.
Interesting. What are you doing to help fight against climate change?
So almost everything that we do at Binnies is related to the environment through the work that we do in the water industry and flood and coastal industries. One of the challenges for my team working with the water industry is to help them to achieve the goal of net zero. So that's a really big part of what we do.
Yep.
Something that I've been involved with personally is developing our IDMS system, which is a remote monitoring system for dams, and that will give reservoir owners the ability to monitor those reservoirs without attending sites so often. So obviously there's a carbon footprint implication of being able to do that. So finding ways of doing smarter ways of working so that we, either in the way that we build or in the way that we manage our assets, is a really important part of that carbon challenge.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.